Hello everyone, welcome to another TouchDesigner tutorial. Today we are making these Sinewave lines. This will be a short one, I won't make any post-processing, I will just focus on the pop network. So you need one of the latest versions of TouchDesigner. I think this is a pretty flexible composition to experiment after the tutorial, even if you are a beginner, so I think you will like it. But in any case, I will leave the project on my Patreon for free, so if you need to check it out, it will be there. So let's start with this. So I'll start from scratch, but first I want to advise you that if you are more advanced in TouchDesigner, that maybe some of the things that you will see here, you know how to make it in another way or in a more efficient way. So if it is like that, just tell me in the comments if you want, and I'll post some alternative version in the Patreon file. So yeah, don't be scared. First I create a point generator and I'll set the number of points to 1000. I won't set a higher number because this later will get expensive on GPU. Well, not too much, but a bit more, so for me 1000 is okay. Now we create a pattern that will create the sign look. I will change the parameter size to 1 and set the type to sign, and we'll just change the exponent to 4 and we leave the rest just like that. We create a copy and we set the number of copies to 4 and the rotation on the Z axis to 90. So we have here like an X, but it's actually an X on all axis. So first we are going to create the feedback loop that will set the movement so we can see it clearly. We create here a keyboard in, add a transform and add a null. We call it as feedback end, and we set the keyboard in the start so we can restart it whenever we want, and we change the transform to the rotation to -0.3 on all axis, and we drag the feedback end on the feedback, so we can already see this. We are going to set the render we create here a null that later we will talk about it. We create here a camera and we create here a constant. We drag it as a material and we create a render top that we activate to see it, and we change the resolution to 1280 and the background color to 1, so we can see this right now. We're going to split this in 2 and here we are going to deactivate the backdrop tops so we can work here in a cleaner way. Change this to top viewer, and yeah, we can see this moving around. So now we are creating the logic part, which will give the look of the composition. First we are adding here a noise. We can press 1 to see the change, and we are going to output the attribute scale on the noise, so you have to toggle this and set the harmonics to 3 and the amplitude to 0.152 and exponent to 0.49. So press 1 again and you can see this, that it is actually pretty beautiful, I think. And now we create here the math mix. So here we are going to make 3 operations. It isn't like too hard, but for me it is actually a bit, so I'll try to explain this the best I can. But we create first this operation, a plus b multiplied by c, which is p scale and 0.01. So we are multiplying scale by this number. Now we are going to create a division of scale divided by p, and we need to have the result as a scale, because later will be very important. And we set this to exponent 10 and the scope as scale. So this is all the operations we need. It is easy actually, but if you are learning this, probably will be hard for you too. So right now this is done. We just focus now on this null that we will recall as instancing. So this is a thing that that I'm not sure at all about, because I don't saw before like too much instancing on pops. I usually see the copy for this function, but in this case I used the classic instancing on geometry. So if there is a more simple way or efficient way for this, just tell me. I tried with a copy and with another methods, but I just failed with that. So I set the instancing as default instance, and here is where we use the scale that we outputted before as scale 0, scale 1 and scale 2. We need to press 1 to see this view, and we set the constant we toggle the blending as on, and we change the alpha to, I don't know, this number 0.189. Now we press the viewer active and we drag this a bit more far, and there you go. So as you can see, we don't have to make like a lot of steps, but yeah, there are some logic on this. I find this pretty flexible because if you, I don't know, come to the noise and change the combine operation to multiply, press 1 again, you have this. You can, I don't know, play with some parameters that you want. I find cool, for example, let me know if I remember. For example, with the length, it's also pretty cool. Sorry. You can also make, I'll drag this to the left. If you create here a noise, and you can create like more movement. I don't know, it is all about trying, but I think you have like a lot of possibilities. This isn't like you are making something with GLSL which will give you like endless possibilities, but with this, with the math mix, I think what you can do is to try in a easier way, to experiment with the logic. So yeah, that is all I think. I hope you liked this tutorial. As I've said earlier, I will post this on my Patreon. So yeah, check it out, and I'll see you in the next one.